This is a late night show with Dr. Kojo. We're going to be talking about relationships today. I'm going to be answering your questions. The best relationship advice I've ever given was from my mom. And I didn't listen to it at the time, but I was young. But my mom always told me growing up that in a relationship, one person has to be the fool in order for it to work. And that's just her way of saying that somebody has to compromise, right? If you have two stubborn people and it's like this, it's a tug of war all the time, inevitably there's going to be a split, right? Somebody has to be the fool. Somebody has to compromise. And that somebody in a perfect world or in an ideal world, that somebody will change from time to time, right? You might have one person who is sacrificing more, and at another point in time, you have somebody else who's sacrificing more, right? So somebody has to be the quote unquote fool, or somebody has to sacrifice in order for a relationship to work, right? So that's extremely important. Sandra says, in my substance abuse, I feel like I broke my daughter's trust in God. I've been making it way. So the first relationship question comes from Juicefer. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I think the girl I like don't like me, but she seems have mixed signals kind of thing, and it makes me more anxious. All right, so Juicefer, I'll say this here, especially in the beginning of a relationship. The beginning of a relationship is supposed to be the best part, right? So relationships, you're gonna have ups and downs, right? But in the beginning, the honeymoon phase or whatever you want to call it, it should be the best part. So in the beginning, if you're not sure if they like you or not, to be honest, there's a good chance that they don't like you, but maybe they could like you, right? But over here, we want to carry ourselves with respect, and we want to put boundaries in place, and we want to make sure that we're not taking a bad deal, right? So this is not about whether you date this girl or not. I think it's bigger than that, Juicefer. I think it has more to do with how you conduct yourself when looking for a partner, right? So whether she likes you or not, it's not the most important thing right now. The most important thing is just figuring out where your boundaries are. So if you're unsure, for me personally, if I'm unsure about whether somebody likes me or not, the like or the love, whatever it is, it has to be reciprocated. So I would just, if you want to proceed, do your thing, proceed, but proceed cautiously, and how much time that you put into this potential relationship, it needs to be capped at a certain level. Don't put too much time and energy into this. I don't want you sending yourself down the wrong path. Nicole says, I dated quite a few narcissists back in the day. I've often thought neurodivergence, including ADHD, tend to be attracted to narcissists. They figure out our weaknesses, extra attention to empathy, and take advantage. Why do you think that is? Ooh, that's a good question right here. Mickey Thicky. Nicole says, why do you think that is? So Nicole, let me start by saying that I actually agree with you. I agree with you. That's what I want to start by saying. I think that if you're neurodivergent, especially those of us who have ADHD and those of us who have autism, if you're not able to, manage, right? If you're struggling with learning about yourself and, figuring out what needs you have, you could be in a position to where people could take advantage of you, right? With ADHD, we talk about the RSD, right? Rejection sensitive dysphoria, where you feel things so much more, right? So you might be somebody, you might describe yourself as an empath, right? You might really feel for people and care for people. And you might get that satisfaction from helping other people out, even at the detriment of yourself, right? So if these are things that are true about you, you could be, at a risk of attracting narcissists and or people who have narcissistic tendencies, right? Because not everybody's a narcissist out here, right? But we all have narcissistic tendencies, and the person that you're dating might lean into that and take advantage of you, maybe not even intentionally, but taking advantage or you feeling bad is still you feeling bad, right? So even with good intent, we don't want to stay there for too long, right? So really good question.